Hey, it is Labor Day Monday. I really hope everybody had a great, blessed weekend. I had a good weekend. It was very interesting. I went and, sorry, I'm just watching people. I got my solar panel out, and sometimes people act like they have never seen a solar panel. But anyway, I went and attempted to film outside 3 different times, 3 different areas, but it's very windy. It's beautiful. The leaves are falling. It's just gorgeous. It's a very nice September day. But I'm right by Interstate 5 in this new section of the park. Now I know why it really doesn't get used much. It's just very noisy. But I do like the solitude of it. I feel like I have all of this for the most time by myself, so that's really nice. I I feel very blessed, very fortunate. Except I would have liked to have been outside, but that's okay. I'm good being in my van, and winter's going to be here before you know it, and it's going to be interesting finding spots to record. But we're going to do this. So, as I stated a few days ago, one of the things I was going to do was to approach people. I wanted to approach 100, but to be honest, it was roughly about 60 people. And I wanted to ask, they were strangers, ask them, when you look at me, what do you see? First few times I felt very awkward asking that, but not as awkward as people who I asked it. They were kind of looking at me like, "Ooh, this girl went off the deep end." Now, mind you, these people do not know me, and I'm pretty sure, unless they see me get in and out of my van, and they'd have to be pretty close to my van to even know that I live out of my van, they wouldn't know. So, these are people who just, some crazy 60-year-old woman walked up to them asking them a question. I'm sure they've probably not been asked too often in life. But the responses I got were, for the most part, what I expected. There's a few I didn't expect, and one I really didn't expect, and I'm going to just share some of that. And also, people didn't want to be put on film, which that's okay. I get it. But I got things such as, when I look at you, I see a strong young lady, so that was really nice. Young. I see a mature woman. I see a woman of faith, which is always great. And quite a few said, well, I see a person that just doesn't take any crap off anyone. So I didn't know that I bring that forward, because though I want to have, especially being a single woman in the van, I want be able to turn on like a switch. I'm not approachable because, there are people out there that think that you're a woman of the night or a working woman, and I just don't play that. You will quickly see an ugly side of me. So yeah, so I like to be able to turn that on, but for the most part, my prayer always is to let the light of God shine through me. So I did have a few men who were very flirtatious and said to me, and they both almost said the exact same thing, and they weren't together, but it was, 2 separate men at 2 separate times said to me, "You look like a lady who could use a man." I said, well, I don't need an earthly man, but I have my Heavenly Father, so I thank you. And they kind of looked at me dumbfounded. So one gentleman even said, no offense, I didn't mean to offend you. And I said there was none taken at all. I asked a question, you answered it how you wanted to answer it. I mean, I was pretty much ready for anything. But this one older gal, 73 years old, oh my gosh, she just was such a glow about her. When I grew up, I want to be like her, for real. She told me, she goes, "I see a person who is discovering her life. If I had to guess, you are a loner. You're widowed or divorced. I can't figure out which one yet. And I feel that you have adult children." And she goes, "And it's obvious that you love the Lord." That was pretty good. I was shocked that she read me so well. I'm not a widow. I am divorced, and I do have 3 adult children who are busy with their own lives. But, and you know me, I got to write stuff down or not, I'll never remember. I forget so easy, you know. You know, people often say that they don't care. I've said that before. I could care less what you think. I don't care what people think. And, you know, back in the day, I used to care a lot. I used to care so much of what people thought. I was a hairdresser for over 20 years. You know, the hair had to be right, had the nails done, had pedicures, manicures, makeup, clothes, jewelry. And I hated all of that. I always say if I could shave my hair off and look good bald, I wouldn't even have hair. I have had it very long and I've had it even shorter than this. I don't like hair. I love doing other people's hair, but I've never liked my own hair. No. And makeup, I am in love with mascara. I love mascara. And sometimes I cover up these little brown spots, but not too often. You know, but I do love mascara. It's in my written will. My daughter knows, even though I'm going to be cremated, she knows. Put a little bit of lip gloss on me because I don't want dry lips, and like I have now, and a little bit of mascara, and then go ahead and burn me up. Won't look good going out, I guess. But you know, truly none of that. Through the years, I've realized you're always going to have someone criticizing you. It doesn't matter. And for myself, I only want to please God. I want to do God's will. I just want to be kind and loving. That's it. I don't want to pass judgment on anyone. I will hug someone with the dirtiest of shirt on and the cleanest, most pressed shirt. I don't care. You know, to me, that does not matter. It doesn't matter. I just want to do God's will. But I think about all the time. I used to have freak out sessions like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to wear, yet I had a closet or 2 closets full of clothing, you know, and a lot of them I've only worn once. So, you know, I wasted a lot of time on garbage, you know. It's crazy. There's this one quote that I really, really love. It says, one of the greatest mental freedoms is truly not caring what anyone else thinks of you. And I don't know who wrote that, but isn't that awesome? That is so awesome. Mental freedom. I'm all about freedom, that's for sure. You know, I just know that thinking of others, of what others think of you, it just destroys your confidence. People just knock you down, you know. Even for a brief second when someone made a comment about, don't you know how to film, or people know how to film it, or something like that, and it was truly just for a brief second, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, no, I don't have to, you know, I'll figure it out. And until I figure it out, the videos that I produce are the videos I produce because they're true to me. And isn't this about my journey? I want to be a testimony to someone. I want to be able to be there for somebody who can relate and say, oh, okay, this storm will pass. Life is good. It does get better. That's what I want to do. And that's why I do this. I just do this because I want to do God's work. Let me tell you, I love God. In Proverbs 29:25, it reads, it is dangerous to be concerned with what others think of you, but if you trust the Lord, you are safe. I like that. I mean, truly, we can't put, I've learned, and I can only speak for myself, I have learned that if I put trust in people, they're going to fail me each and every time. God never fails. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He will always love us, regardless. Even if we don't love him, he loves us, and he will receive us back again to him. That's a good God. That's a loving God. That's love that I've never, ever experienced in my life before. And honestly, it wasn't until the last couple of years, and truly this last year, where it finally was that aha moment. You know, that saying, I was how old when I realized? I was 59, 60 years old when I realized, wow, how powerful my God is. That's such a good feeling. Things just don't seem to matter as much anymore. I just wake up I had a friend last night say, I don't get it, don't you just don't really have friends around, you don't do this, you don't do that. And well, first of all, my true friends that I've confided in and grew up with have passed on. But, I talk to people every day, and I love people every day, but I don't need people to define who I am, at all. And I used to struggle with it. I used to struggle really hard with, oh, do they like me? Oh, do they not like me? Are they mad at me? Did I say something wrong? Why are they not talking to me? Just stuff like that, Or even I would say, oh, man, God must really hate me. Why is my life so miserable? But I just don't anymore. It's not, God doesn't hate me, God loves me, and some of the things that happened in my adulthood were by my choice, In my childhood, I had no choice on that, but in my adulthood, I had choice. But so then now I ask myself, am I trying to please people, or am I trying to please God? And I could honestly say I'm here to please God, I'm yep, I sin every day. Sometimes I could have a sailor's mouth. I could curse. I mean, you know, there's times that, I feel anger stirring up, and I love it when it says in the Bible that we could be angry, but to sin not. Like I could be angry, but I don't have to go beat someone up because I'm angry, you know. And we see so much of that now. We see with all the violence, with the shootings and stabbings, it's they're angry and just they lash out 95% of the time at innocent people. So that's really sad. And I always think, when people say, well, they say this or they say that, well, who cares? Who are they? Who are they? They do nothing for me. So I honor the one that does everything for me. So that's where I'm at. In Ephesians 5:15-16, it says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity. That's a good one. I love it. I love the book of Ephesians. I just love it. Actually, I love all of the Bible. Okay, I'm going to admit, Revelations is not my favorite, because it talks of end, and, yes, I've read it many times, and I remember the first time I read it, I cried. I was like, oh, that's too deep, too heavy, Whew. Revelations was something back when I first read it. That was scary. I would never tell a new Christian, why don't you start at Revelations? Oh man, I bet you 9 out of 10 times they'd shut that Bible down and say, yeah, well, if this is it, I don't want to read it, But it is truth, and we should all read it. But maybe it's something you should do in a Bible study the first time you read it, so you get better understanding. It tripped me out. I'm not going to lie. Revelation, not now, but when I first read it, whew, I was tripping. Talk about night terrors. Oh my gosh. I couldn't understand half of it, but of course I didn't know any of the previous of the Bible except a few scriptures, so I really had nothing to base it with, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so in 2 Timothy 2:15 it says, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth. I love that as well, because, if we speak the truth, if we speak God's truth, first of all, a lie you always have to remember. You got to think, did I say this or did I say that? Truth is the truth, and you don't even have to defend the truth. The truth will defend itself. And that's what I love about God's word. I don't have to defend it. I used to think, I'm going to stick up for God. And then finally it was like the Holy Spirit said, Gracie, we got this, chill. So yeah, that's my truth. I would. And sometimes I still feel anger stirring up when I hear people just totally try to rip apart my God, but I am learning, and I'm rather proud of myself, just to sit still, to walk away, to not engage. Because that's what the enemy wants, right? He wants to kill, steal, and destroy. He wants to engage us. He wants us to be engaged because then he has a foothold into it, and then we lose our control. I know for me, I mean, I'm human, right? If you get me really angered, the people that say, oh, I blacked out, or I just snapped, or I was in a rage, I'm never going to feel that again in life, that's for sure. So for that, I'm happy. Because in Romans 12:2, it tells us, do not be conformed of this world. And who is the father of lies? Who roams about seeking to kill, steal, and destroy? Lucifer. This is his territory. But I got news for him. He has no power over me. He has no power over us Christians because we have God. He doesn't overrule God. That's why he was kicked out. He thought he could do better and be better, and he's all this and that, and he's just nothing. He's a coward. He's a coward. I don't give him credit for anything except for being a coward. If he got an award for anything, it's number one dumb coward, and you could add a word in there, but I won't, But I used to really worry about people's opinion of me and what they thought, and in Matthew 18:3 it says, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as a little child, as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. We are supposed to be childlike. When was the last time you just busted out dancing in a store just to dance? I see little kids. I do it all the time. I love to dance, so I'm my own best partner. I don't step on my own feet. Well, most of the time I don't step on my own feet. Or go, like the leaves were falling and I was out there just, with my arms out trying to catch these leaves. It was so great. I'm childlike, children, they're taught to judge, they're taught to hate, but a child at their innocence, they love everybody. They don't care if you're big or small or dark or light. They don't care. They don't care if you speak the same language. They will find a way to communicate with you. They don't care because they just love everyone and everything. They embrace everything, and yeah, to be childlike. So when was the last time you went out and danced in the rain? Went out there and your Sunday best and just, danced a jig. Do they even say that word anymore? Anyway, went out and danced. I don't know. But I just know that, I just want to enjoy all the goodness of God. Every day is a blessing because we woke up. Every day there's a purpose for us. Now, if we want to talk with God and figure out what our purpose is, but we have choices, and a lot of people choose just to keep doing the same thing. As for me, I know there's a purpose. I'm alive. I'm here. I lived through all that hell for a reason, and so did you. You have lived up to where you are right this very minute for a reason. There's a lot of people who will never see another day, ever. There's a lot of people wishing that they would have more time, and their time's running out. So, seize the moment. Embrace the day. Love the day. You go out. I say it all the time. Ooh, Lordy, my hair's a mess, But I don't care. Like I said. I guess I care to a point because it's not shaven yet, and I just know my cranium is just so ugly. It's ugly, the shape of it. It's like a bumps here, and yeah, anyway. So, I definitely, so I guess to a point I still do care about some things. I don't want something that's going to make me feel bad, and I think right at the moment shaving my head. I'd be excited for the moment doing it, and then I'd be, oh mercy, what did I just do? But anyway, back to what I was saying. Today's just a great day. It really is a great day. This has been an eye-opening weekend for me, you know. It has. It's really been something. You know, God doesn't give us um, depression, fear. He doesn't say that at all. You know, he said just the opposite. If it's bad, it's not of God, right? Because God is love. And yes, he disciplines, but God is love. So I just encourage you to do something. I don't care even if it's the smallest of thing, you know. Eat a bowl of ice cream for breakfast. You know, something childlike, something, you know, anything. I bought me a chocolate bar, and people are like, oh, chocolate bar, but, you know, I have to be real careful with that stuff because I'm the kind of person you can't have a bag of candy. If there's a bag of chocolate, I will eat it in one day. Serious, I'm not lying. But it is a treat, and, you know, and I'm like a little kid. I get all excited. It's like, oh, I'm buying me a chocolate bar today. You know, I played in the leaves when they were falling, and but it's going to be nice when it finally does rain because I'm going to be out there in it. I'm going to be two-stepping it in the rain. But anyway, I learned a big lesson, you know, this weekend. My takeaway was just what I said. I'm not going to stop being me. I'm going to keep loving God. I'm going to be more childlike. And I'm still working on what other people think of me because obviously, or no, I would not have done that. The true reason behind that, though, wasn't because I cared what people thought. I wanted to see if the light of Christ shines through me. And I got a lot of answers that, without them even knowing that I love the Lord, you know, sense that. And so that was pleasing. So, because I want people to look at me and say, I want what she got, you know. What makes her so happy? Food costs is high, gas costs is high. You know, they claim there's all these jobs, but there's not any jobs to be found, and wages are low, and rent's high. It's a lot to be depressed about, isn't it? But it's just a season. It's just a season. Don't let it destroy your whole life. It's one season. It'll get better, you know. It gets better. It just does. And if you can't change it, find something good in it. And that's what I do. If it's something I can't change, like with my bank account, I couldn't change that for nothing. I'm still sitting with $12 and change, you know, but I'll tell you what, man, I'm happy as can be. Life is good. Life is really good. And I had me a chocolate bar. Anyway, y'all are great listening to me. I appreciate you so much. And I really pray that you have an awesome week. And as you could tell, I've yet to conquer editing, and when I do, and it will get better. And if not, this is what you get. And you know, if I say anything that resonates with you, oh, God bless. I'm happy. I pray that you continue to follow me, like, share, subscribe. I'm always open to suggestions, you know. I love going up and asking people questions. So, I mean, if you could think of, you know, something that, nothing rude or crude, but, you know, it is always interesting to get someone else's viewpoint on things. So, I've been wanting to ask people what they think of God, but I don't think I'm quite, well, I know I'm not ready to hear it yet because there's a lot of people who have a lot of bad things to say. And like I said, you know, I was already convicted once on, you don't have to protect us, defend us. So, yeah, anyway, I don't know about that. But if anything you could think of, you know, if it would be fun, I would love to do it. It'd be fun to just go out there. But they'd have to be on camera for sure because that's when you get the real funny responses. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go and drink some water and probably go on a walk because it's really nice and windy and cool. And I love to walk. Anyway, have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. It's Monday. And I just pray God's blessings over everyone. If anyone has anything they'd like for me to pray with you or for you, just send me an email, or drop a little note in the comment. I don't need to know what it's about. The good Lord knows, but I believe in the power of prayer, and I also ask that you continue to pray for me. I just appreciate it. I love prayer. There is power in prayer. So anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. I've chatted 25 minutes. Good night. All right, I'm out of here. Peace out. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.